How often have you talked about killing someone? Oh, Lord. No, seriously.
Victoria believed she had orchestrated the perfect murder, securing her husband's house, car, and fortune. But eventually, her arrogance would not only seal her fate, but also bring down the people around.
This is the time to tell the truth.
I know, this
Pepsi.
wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
That was nice of them.
What the fuck is this shithole?
Beaver 6, go ahead and send medical in. We're in the garage. All right, man, I got some help coming for you. Got one maybe through and through braid through the chest, so we're gonna have to expedite some things here.
One through
Oh,
the
shit.
chest.
This is Shane Davis.
Yeah, he's
still
straight dead.
alive, but drifting in and out of consciousness. With Shane insisting he didn't shoot himself,
I didn't
detectives
shit.
began to consider
didn't
that
shit.
this was not
That's good.
a self-inflicted act, but attempted murder. The officer counted 6 people in the house. While they were still seen as witnesses, their strange behavior and absence of a gun would soon raise suspicion.
Yeah.
You guys know Shane to own a pistol?
He does own a pistol.
Okay.
It's in my room with him. I'm married to him.
As Shane fights for his
What the
life on the way to the
fuck, dude?
hospital, detectives turn their attention to his wife, Victoria Worth. What officers don't realize is that Victoria's mind is fixed on a dark thought. If Shane dies, she would inherit his house, car, and fortune. With this
Wow.
twisted fantasy in mind,
Watch
how
where you
much
sleep,
she
boys.
despised
Watch where you sleep.
Shane.
Is he gonna be okay?
I'll tell you later. That's all I can say. Was Shane arguing with anybody tonight?
Just a little bit with me over a stupid comment.
Yeah, I shot him in the
He's
fucking
been drinking
chest.
nonstop. He was driving. I told him to come home. He needed to stop it. That is a fight that has come out quite a bit between the two of us, is drunk driving because of his ticket last time, which scares me. I have a 2-year-old daughter in the home, and the only comment I had made that if he entered the home that I would protect at any cost necessary for my daughter's sake.
Sure.
Victoria claims that she and Shane got into a heated argument earlier that day.
Ooh-wee, boys.
She also brings up
Ooh-wee.
his bad habit of drinking and driving, almost as if to
Yes, we
shift
got a-
blame,
we got a piece of
although
work
no
on
one
our
has
hands.
accused her of anything yet.
From anybody that may be involved with this that we might want to look at.
I don't know. He's got his fair share of enemies. Some people have issues with
He's
him
got his
because
fair
of
share of enemies,
him getting physical with
including
me
me.
a while back in the past. I don't know. He's been drinking, and when he gets drunk, he gets kind of dumb. When he gets to drinking, he doesn't always make the smartest decisions.
Oh my fucking god.
He has been going through a lot lately.
Did anybody see Shane with the gun? Brandon, you discovered him?
I discovered him originally.
Notice how Victoria stays glued to her phone while answering the police.
Oh my God.
Almost as if she's reading from a script. With each claim, she further damages Shane's reputation, portraying him as an abusive husband with many enemies.
this is crazy.
Corporal
What do they have to say? Anything? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to his wife. She says it was just him and her arguing. That he's been drinking all day.
Detectives pressed on, unaware that everyone but them knew who had shot Shane and why the gun was still missing.
Well, I don't know how well you guys know him, but he scares the living hell out of me. Since I do have a 2-year-old in my home, I will do whatever it takes in my power to protect my daughter at any cost necessary.
Now you
Okay.
said Shane did have a pistol from what you told me.
He has a pistol. It's in my room. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, just take me where and I'll look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, we do have, he has his own gun, and I have a rifle.
Okay.
So
Is
they're both in here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the house?
Yeah, his is right there.
Okay.
So that's his.
Cox examined the rounds in each gun
Okay,
and
if you
concluded
guys
that
can't
none had
tell-
been fired.
Okay,
With this
pause,
revelation, the
pause.
detectives returned
If these cops can't tell that this bitch obviously shot her husband, they should not be cops. This is crazy.
to question the residents,
A complete lack of deductive skills.
unaware that Victoria was about to accidentally reveal a crucial piece of information pointing directly to the shooter.
Well, I don't know where my other partner is. I have 2. I'm polyamorous.
Oh
He's
my
been gone for a while,
god.
though, long beforehand.
Okay.
So he
polyamorous.
left earlier today and is been
Yeah,
out and about for a
I'm something
while.
of a whore.
Okay. Yep, just hang tight right here, guys.
That Victoria's secret lover despised Shane and was seen leaving the house around the time of the shooting. He
that's
identified the
really
man
convenient.
as Mike Miller,
Oh my
someone well known to
fucking-
police for his considerable criminal record.
Look at him. There's no way he shot him. There's no way. There's no way he shot him. The bitch had to have. Look at that motherfucking goober, bro. Oh my god.
Record. Finally, the police have a lead, marking the start of the hunt for their primary suspect. A few hours later, after searching the nearby area, one car's license plate matched 27-year-old Mike Miller. To their surprise, Mike was compliant when approached and even agreed to come to the station for questioning. But while the officers expected denials and deflection, he would tell police exactly what had gone down.
And then he got kind of pretty physical with her. He grabbed her wrist and he shoved her. And I told him, like, Shane, I will shoot you. You need to let her go. He wouldn't listen. I did what I did to her.
I guess he shot her.
I shot him.
I can't believe it.
Without any pushback from the detectives, Mike admitted point blank that he shot Shane. But there was a reason for his unusual honesty. He would soon claim it was all in self-defense.
She had me go tell him to shut the truck off, and I looked at him like, dude, I'm just telling you what I was told to tell you. Sean, who he was on the phone with, he had called her a bitch quite a few times. She had given the warning to Sean that if he came here, it wasn't going to end well. From what I understand, Sean is a very violent person. And Shane kind of said something to Sean, saying, he's like, you know what, Sean, go ahead and come down here. That then there posed a threat on the household, because Sean wasn't going to come down here and just talk everything out. He would be armed, and he was going to come down here for a fight.
According to Mike, Sean was a friend of Shane's who was moments away from arriving at the house, armed and ready for a fight. 5 hours on the run after the shooting, it's possible Victoria instructed him to tell the police this story and perhaps even to claim self-defense. However, Mike's self-defense argument was far weaker than he realized, and the detectives began pressing him on it.
Why did you immediately go to the gun rather than try to physically stop him? Because there's two of you and just one of him.
The light wasn't on, and like I said, it's really cluttered in that garage, so I would have ended up falling and stumbling.
Just as the officers suspected, jealousy and rage explained Mike's actions far better than self-defense. With their primary suspect now in custody, devastating news arrived from the hospital. Shane had passed away. As Mike prepared to be charged with manslaughter, Victoria believed her brilliant plan had succeeded and that she had outsmarted the police. It's now 1 month after Shane's death, and Victoria is still living in his house, driving his car, and carrying on as if nothing had happened. She frequently visits Mike in jail and writes Facebook posts about how much she misses Shane. On November 7th, the detectives received an anonymous tip to check Victoria's Snapchat account. While they weren't expecting much, after all, their primary suspect was already in custody, the investigation was about to be turned upside down. Unbeknownst to the police, Victoria had been planning Shane's murder for months over Snapchat with Mike. While Mike may have pulled the trigger, the messages made it clear that Victoria was the mastermind. With this new evidence showing that although Victoria remained arrogant, still convinced her plan was flawless, the police now had enough proof to completely dismantle her.
So, I mean, were there ever times that you and Mike talked about Shane together and that you were both upset with him because of things he was...
Yeah.
Mike had multiple usernames on Snapchat. Do you remember Devil Daddy 13?
That might be one of his.
You ever remember having a conversation with Mike about Shane when he was using that Devil Daddy 13?
Not off the top of my head.
The detectives were about to confront her with every incriminating message they had. But little did they know, Victoria's arrogance would persist, still believing she could walk free without facing the consequences.
Days I just wish you would get in an accident or something, so...
I didn't have to deal with this crap.
But let's just read through these, Victoria.
Okay.
So, cut your wrist to get caught.
It was supposed to say too much of a risk, your dumb ass would get caught.
So then, Mike responds back to you. It can be done if done right, and it wouldn't be hard to do. And then you responded back to him saying,
yeah,
not without getting caught or guilty.
And that's where I'm sitting here trying to convince him, like, no, you're not doing this. One, you're going to get caught. Two, you're going to feel hell guilty about shit.
So then, again, my PU getting caught wouldn't be an issue. Joan doesn't carry guilt with me.
Oh my
Person has
God.
no hold on me. Mike reports back to you, there's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like natural causes based off his depression and all that's going through his head. I've done it with my dad before, not enough to kill him, but enough to get a point across and make a difference. The right story by everyone can dismiss it all, and then you say, I'd rather it look an accident, it's the only way. I'm gonna keep house. We are sitting here and I only want one thing from you and one thing only.
Sorry,
I want
guys.
the truth.
He turned on the
They
light
didn't even expect us to
in
have
Monay's
those.
room.
Needless
thought
to
I was so
say,
scared she was gonna wake up.
Victoria indeed. Victoria is naive enough to try and explain the messages away, even claiming that she was actually trying to dissuade Mike from shooting Shane. But despite the overwhelming evidence, Victoria still had a plan to slip out of this predicament.
There was a lot of abuse with me and Shane, but that doesn't mean that I ever wanted to leave. Under no circumstances did we plan for this to happen. What went through Mike's head that night that it went all down, I don't know. Shane gets to drinking, he gets violent, and he gets terrifying. Now I know it's a conversation, but at the tail end of that relationship with Shane, it did feel like I was trapped. That night it just went way too far.
Shane gets shot and he falls down. Who helps him? Anybody try to stop his bleeding?
No, I can't handle blood, and he wouldn't let me touch him anyways. All he did was grunt and make weird noises.
You can't explain that, Victoria. This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
What I told you Shane was that morning,
Yeah.
you remember what you said back to me?
No.
And you actually said to me you were worried about losing your house. Your husband just died. I told you
Yeah.
that. Do you think those things planted the seed in Mike?
And it might have. So planting the seed in there, possibly. I very well might have without even intending to do so. 90% of that, yes, was smart out remarks. Can I please question?
I'll tell you this right now, absolutely no.
I did not kill my husband, and that will come up, and I will sit there and make sure that you guys are making a huge mistake.
I hope she goes
Victoria
to prison.
finally admits to planting the idea of murdering Shane in Mike's head. Unbeknownst to her, Corporal Cox has masterfully coached her into confessing and sealing the fate of her secret lover.
Damn.
Months after the murder, Victoria was finally arrested and escorted to Beaver County Jail,
Beaver
the same
County.
facility where her lover was being held. Mike Miller pled down from murder to manslaughter and received a sentence of 8 years to life. Victoria Worth was convicted of criminal solicitation and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder and sentenced to 3 years to life in prison.
Nice.